Bam, we're live. Should I start the show with just something absolutely batshit crazy? Hey, Yevhenni, how are you, brother?
Hey, guys. It's everything fine now? What about you?
Oh, great. Everything's great. Everything is great.
Oh, I'm happy that you have a great day.
Yeah. Live from Odessa, Yevhenni. Yevhenni, will you spell your name for me?
Yevhenni, it's great. You have a great pronunciation.
Yevhenni, will you spell it for me?
Yevhenni, yes.
Will you spell it? Y E.
Oh, by letters, yes.
Yes, sir.
Y E V H E N I.
Oh, Yevhenni.
Yevhenni, yes.
Yevhenni, I've been saying Yevhenni. Darn it.
No, it's true. By Ukrainian, it sounds like Yevhenni. Yes,
Yevhenni.
It's like G. We have a sound like he. Yeah. But it's not me.
Oh, good find, Caleb. Good find.
But name is the same.
Oh, you are in Odessa on the 21st floor of a luxury skyrise.
Yep. By the way, for the last 3 days, our air defense has been attacking enemy drones over Odessa, yes. And the last one was shut down an hour ago. So it was like, how it called, the celebrating this
success.
Fire, celebrating fire.
Hey, have you seen any of the drones?
No. My Windows is on that side that I don't tell you yet, but I don't see nothing from the sea. It's mostly from the warships on the our sea.
How about when you go out? Have you seen any, when you walk around the city of Odessa, Ukraine, do you see any signs of military force?
No. You know, we live in a big city now, and there is a very good defense. We have military defense and the civilian defense. And of course, the air defense that protect us from all the rockets, all the drones. So all the stuff that they drop on us, it's mostly on the region, so over the city, not in Odessa. Hopefully, Yep.
Sorry to interrupt. I thought you were done. Sorry. This attack started on the Ukraine from Russia on February 22nd, 2022. Is that correct?
February 24.
24. Okay. And so we're 4 days away from a month where Yevhenni has been living in a country called Ukraine that's getting attacked by its neighboring country, Russia.
Yeah, we have a very good neighbor. I'm special for this show. Yes, I'm today teach the history of Ukraine once again from the school times. Yes, and I was made a point on the Russian-Ukraine relationships for this. Yes, because maybe you heard, Ramzan Kadyrov. It's one of the Putin's friends. He is the president of Chechnya, if you know Chechnya. Yeah. So
I don't think Chechens are allowed in the United States. By the way, is that true?
Well, what?
I don't think Chechens are allowed in the United States. I think that they're under. I think that that's considered a region full of terrorists. I don't know. Maybe I'm just making that shit up.
Yeah, it's like a region in Russia.
Who've told me that. Sorry, go ahead.
It's like a region in Russia, yes. And there was a news that Ramzan Kadyrov had arrived in Ukraine, and he with his TikTok soldiers, the soldiers of Chechnya, very like to film the videos, yes, and they show how they're good for the people, yes. They come to the house and ask if anyone wants something, yes, and anyone needs something, they film it, yes, and then with good music, Chechnya's music, yes, they show it for their people. But okay, and information about Ramzan's in Kiev was quickly refuted, but Kadyrov made an interesting statement. He called for a hunt for the head of Stepan Bandera. Remember Bandera from our last conversation, yeah? And he named he like the main enemy of Russians. And to understand the real force of his statement, at the beginning of the war, yes, Ramzan also said that Zelensky must surrender by the February 31st, yes. So February had 28 days, but Ramzan wants Zelensky to surrender to the 31st of February, yeah. But here I think it's worth figuring out why Bandera's Bandera, yes, is so scary for Putin's friends, yeah. We already talking with you about the fact that one of the columns of Russian propaganda is claim that neo-Nazis, yes, is ruled by Ukraine.
Yevhenni, sorry, before we get too much more ahead, hold that thought. I want to sum up what you just said to us, okay?
Oh, okay,
okay. Just to make sure everyone's listening and that I heard you right. So there is a leader called Ramzan from Chechnya. Caleb showed us this guy. There's rumors that he is in Ukraine, and when you hear those rumors that he's in Ukraine, you assume he's there with his military might. The way they're presenting it to the world on social media is that these soldiers who are working under Ramzan, these Chechen soldiers, are actually helping their Ukrainian people, going door to door, asking them what they want as part of their propaganda, and that there is another man that we've talked about before. His name is Pandero. He's being depicted in the U.S. propaganda as a part of a Nazi Ukrainian like paramilitary group that's actually fighting the war, and supposedly that's why one of the reasons Putin has come into Ukraine is to stop this guy. Meanwhile, another thread that you started is Ramzan originally told Zelensky he must surrender by February 31st. Am I correct on some of these stories? Okay. And if you guys don't know who Pandero is, those of you listening, the only reason why I know who he is Yevhenni has talked about him, and he's mentioned in Oliver Stone's documentary, which you can only find on Rumble and maybe iTunes, but they pulled it off of YouTube. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
We have
sorry, one more thing. In this documentary, they say that Pandero's group of militants used to be part of the Ukrainian army, but that he was kicked out in 2014 because of his Nazi ties. But the group didn't break up. They stayed together, but not under the Ukrainian government rule. So that's another thing that a story we have in the United States.
So firstly, the main statement that Stepan Bandera was killed in 1956. Yeah.
Oh, he's dead.
1959.
He's dead, but Ramzan says that he gave 250, I don't remember, rubles or bucks, yes, for his head. Yeah. So that was the meme of the last week when the Ramzan you can see this.
Oh, and it's Bandera. That's funny. In the documentary, I think they spell it with a P.
Bandera, yes.
Okay, sorry to interrupt. Go on.
We start of the neo-Nazis that rule in my country, yes. So, despite we have the fact that Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine, it's our government, they passed a law condemning the National Socialist regime, yes. And I have seen many comments after our conversations, yes, from people who are worried of Ukrainians because of we are Nazi or something like that, yes. And
that's what they're telling. There is that, you have to know there is that, because that's the group in our country that was right about the pandemic is the one who is reminding us that there are Nazis, and the group that's pro-Ukrainian is the one that put the masks on the kids and was wrong about the virus. Do you know what I mean? So we have this. I'm just sort of explaining to you the teams, and so it's bizarre. It's the team that's saying that in the United States that's saying support Ukraine. They're supposed to be the peace-loving ones. And the ones who are against going to Ukraine are supposed to be the warmongers. And so there's the narrative in the US is really fucking weird. It's all twisted up. But go on. This is really helpful what you're saying, sharing with us.
Yeah, but the main thing I would like to say in this regard is to distinguish between the concept of nationalism, yes, and in fact Nazism. Yeah.
Yes, great. Please do.
It's very easy to forget what is misconception. Yes. I especially went to Wikipedia. Yes, it's a good idea. Maybe some of Russians will watch this podcast. They do not have such a function in that country now, like a Wikipedia, as the function of speaking in our language. Other language, yes, from only Russian they would like to speak. But YouTube is still there, so I continue. So the Wikipedia says that Nazism is based on the thesis of the value of the nation and its supremacy in the process of state formation. Yeah. So and one of the biggest part of Nazism, yes, it's the Germany in Second World War, and they tell about in the Wikipedia. Okay, nationalism promotes the interest of nations, especially in order to gain and maintain the sovereignty, so self-government, yes, nothing bad, of the nation over their homeland. Nationalism argues that every nation must govern itself, free from external interference, self-determination, yes, and that the nation is the natural and ideal basis for politics, and that the nation is the only legitimate source of the political power. And now, if you will, a little history.
Nationalism doesn't sound bad to me. It's funny. They talk about in the United States, they conflate the two all the time. They say that nationalism is bad because Nazis were nationalists. But the big problem we have in my country is that we need more nationalism. Nationalism is an idea and movement that holds that the nation should be.
This is what he just read.
Okay. Should be congruent with the state. As a movement, nationalism tends to promote the interests of a particular nation as a group of people, especially with the aim of gaining and maintaining the nation's sovereignty. Yeah, this sounds good, right?
Yeah. Why is Nazism is bad? Because it stays near with fascism. Yes. But I found some.
Well, also maybe this too. It may be this too. Nationalism in the United States might be good because we accept everyone here. We are the largest melting pot of no matter what the news tells you, we are a fucking melting pot. We are like everyone, we get along really, really well. Don't get confused by that shit you see on the news. Like every time I go out, I this just now I was shaking hands with a Filipino woman, you know, and every less than 10 minutes ago at the tennis court. Like, and I've seen, you know, I've seen more different people than myself than I've seen people who look like me today. And that's how it is for most Americans, if not all. But nationalism maybe in Germany in 1942 is bad because it's like, fuck those Armenians, we're getting them. You know what I mean? They might conflate it with the way you look. Okay.
But this is not the nationalism already. This is the fascism. There is, you can Google also 14 signs of fascism. Yes.
Okay. Fascism is a system of government led by a dictator who typically rules by forcefully and often violently suppressing opposition, criticism, controlling all industry and commerce, and promoting nationalism and authorization. Oh, shit. That's what we have in the United States right now. That's who's in power in the United States. Holy shit.
Yeah. And
that's
if you
Joe
want
Biden.
to
That's fucking crazy.
Find something interesting, Google the 14 deafening characteristics of fascism. This was made by a guy who named Umberto Eco, yes, and 1995. he analyzing the events of World War II, yes, and he write a essay.
Well, this thing's wrong. Powerful and continuing nationalism. I don't think that is a part of fascism. I mean, maybe it is, but we don't have that. We had all that other shit, but we don't have that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
Like the people who are the fascists in the United States, they don't love this country.
Mm-hmm.
But they promote racism, and they believe in censorship and dictatorship. Wow. It's amazing. And they think that the other side, the other party, the Republicans are the fascists because they are nationalists. They believe in their country. Wow, this is fascinating. Do I owe you money for this education you're giving me? Can I Venmo you?
I was just interested why some part of the people of the world think that we are Nazi, yes, and I want to see these questions and looking for truth. So now I want to tell about the history of Ukraine and Russia relationships. It was start when Russia started to position itself as an heir to the culture of Kievan Rus. So before Russia and Ukraine and all the country on the south of Europe was formed, yes, there was Kievan Rus. It was formed in 882, yes, around Kiev. And Kiev in that time was already been 400 years by then, yes.
So in 1882 it was named Kiev, but it's been around since 1482.
No. Kiev was early before, but in 1882, all the clans and nations who was around the Kiev, they formed the Kievan Rus.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the word he's saying, Caleb? The Kiev Rus? What's the Rus?
Kievan Rus.
Kievanrus.
Oh, I'm starting to see the word Russia there. Okay.
That's before Russia, yeah.
Okay.
And at the same time, the first mention of Moscow, yes, you can find it in 1147, sorry.
Okay.
But at the same time, our history is now being appropriated in Russian schools. And I drop you some interesting photo. Putin himself has repeatedly said in his speeches that Ukraine is a gift from Russian rulers. And you can show the map I sent you. And there was a part of Ukraine, yes, and the name of Russian rulers who have a gift for Ukraine, yes. This is how he think about it.
I'm having trouble following you. He's saying that
Ukraine is not a country. Yes, it formed in the Soviet Union when Lenin, Russian Tsars. Yes, you see this part of North Ukraine.
Yeah.
And Stalin and all these guys just give a gift for Ukraine, and it formed like a country. So,
but what was the gift? It was land.
Yes, land.
And it's like the Louisiana Purchase.
Who is the gift to? From Lenin to who?
From Lenin, from Russian Tsars, yes, from Stalin. When
who received the gift? Who is the gift to? The Ukrainian people?
Oh, in different part of times, yes, you can see the years. There was some government in Ukraine that Russia put to control this land, this territory, yes, and it was like this. But I tell you before that Kiev was before Moscow, and so.
Okay.
Yes. Now I want you to tell about the bad things that Russia do with Ukraine since all the history. And I want to start with the destruction of the Parisian Siege. We talked about the Parisian Cossacks. Remember, this guy was on the horse with a weapon, yes? And they have their own, like a country, yes? And they want to have Ukraine independent. But in 1775, Russian Empress Katerina II ordered to destroy the Parisian Siege. That was the administrative and military center of the Parisian Cossacks. It was located in the south of Ukraine. The siege had signs of statehood, constitution, and diplomatic relationship with the Russian Empire. But every time when it became too independent, yes, it became a treat for Russia.
A treat?
A treat, yes. And
meaning anytime the Ukraine showed too much independence, the Russians would come stomp around in there.
Yes, can come, stop, and kill all the men and destroy all this.
So that's what's happening again?
But not such simple, yes,
okay.
As in that time. We have the situation when in 1976, Tsar Alexander II issued the Ems decree.
What year was that?
Ems decree.
What year?
1976. 1876.
18.
Sorry.
Okay.
80,
Good.
yes.
Much better. I'll buy that. Okay.
Yeah, it's better. So it forbade printing and improving books in Ukraine and from abroad. Yes, they want to delay Ukrainian culture. It forbade Ukrainian translations, theatrical performances, recitations, and lyrics. It made every display of Ukrainian culture illegal in the Russian Empire.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Then Russification in Ukraine. And this is a long period of time from the 18th centuries to the now, maybe. Russian Empire has been eradicating all manifestations of Ukrainians. Teaching science and religion services in Ukraine were banned. This is 300 years, more than 300 years. Ukrainian schools had to switch to Russian as the language of education. And
hey, did this happen in all of its territories? Did this happen in Georgia and Armenia? Did they do that everywhere?
There was something else, yeah, not like in Ukrainian, but there was other points, yes, that they push on the nations, yes.
Because the food that Armenians cook, who are Western Armenians, is really good. The food that Eastern Armenians cook, the ones that used to live in the USSR, are the worst food ever. The Russians must have the worst food ever. They must be the worst cooks on the planet. Did the Ukrainians get?
We have a good cooks, yes.
You have good cooks, all right.
And there is one more thing. So we have
the English have really fucked up food too. The English have horrible food too, by the way. The English and the Russians, they're fucked up.
Russia take our borscht. Maybe you know, it's like a soup. It's red soup with cabbage and meat and other, yes. And
yes, that sounds good. That sounds good.
They called borscht Russian borscht, not Ukrainian, but this is such Ukrainian food. So, okay, I want to say about other countries. You know what? Just because other countries don't have the same history with Russia, yes? So we start from the Kievan Rus, we start Ukraine. And Russia say that they also start from Kievan Rus, and they want to say about no Kiev. It was just for Russia all this time. Over all our government for that time, yes, that we have. It's the knyaz, they call knyaz. It's like the king in Ukraine, yes. And we have Vladimir Veliki, Yaroslav the Wise, Vladimir the Big, yes, and this is the guys who start all the culture in Ukraine that start to talk with Byzantine Empire. Yes, they begin the Christians, yes, for Ukraine and all this stuff. But Russia tell that this not the Kiev kings, but these guys who was before Russia and for Russia.
I'm with you.
Yep. We go much away from the early years, yes, and talk about the repressions, the Stalin repressions. That was when in 20th century, yes, Ukrainian artists, writers, and poets were persecuted not only for their political views, but also for their national identifier.
Yeah,
So
that's what's happening in the United States right now. That's what's happening in the United States. People are being persecuted for their art, their creativity, for their views. They're being persecuted by our government. It's crazy. I can't even believe I'm alive watching it happen.
And now in the close Russia, it's happening too. All the wise men is go away from Russia.
All the what men? All the wise men?
Wise men, yes. All the brains go away.
Yeah, isn't it weird? The Russian population is in a 10-year decline. People are leaving.
Yeah, people are leaving, but they have some responsibility, I think, or something like that. So, in the 1920,
maybe a 20-year decline. Holy shit. That's not good. A country will not survive in decline. It will not survive.
And if you're looking for the years of this population, yes, there is more than a half of old people. So all the young population is go away.
Yeah. How's Ukraine's population? What's that doing, Caleb? Is it on decline too? Sorry, Yevhenni. I didn't mean to derail you.
In the last month, I think, yes, 4 million of people go away.
Hey, I think it's the largest migration of human beings. Yeah, it's like this in Armenia too. I think what's happening right now in Ukraine might be the largest migrations of human beings since like World War II. I don't think the planet's seen anything quite like this in a long time. No, even before World War II. Yeah, maybe even more than World War II. This migration of people, I think I saw.
But there is hope that they come back maybe afterwards.
Yeah.
Maybe. We don't know when it ends and what happening after that. So maybe you heard about the Holodomor. It's when it's 1932 and 33. Stalin carried out the deliberate extermination of Ukrainian persons. Historical documents have confirmed this fact. The Holodomor caused, not by economic but by political reasons, took the lives of 4.5 million of Ukrainians. So
God, that's crazy.
Yeah, that was the shit that happened of my land. And when we firstly talk about the bombs on the Babin Yar, yes, remember in Kyiv, and that was the place where the largest grave with the people in Kyiv was. So that was.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's been we're 90 years. We're only 90 years away from when Stalin killed 4 million fucking Ukrainians. It's nuts.
Realize it was artificial, so guys just come into your house with
sword,
sticks, and they
grind you up.
No, not grind you up, but they looking on your territory, yes, and try to find something underground with the sticks. So if you if you put on the ground some food to eat something, yes, they find. They
pull it out.
Pull it out, and you stay with nothing.
Yeah. Oh man. Hey,
so
they had to be killing people by hand too. Yeah, it's crazy.
All this stuff happened in Ukraine territory. And if we look on these facts, yes, and on the history in general, it's not strange that we have such people like Stepan Bandera, yes, who want to forget about the Russia and live their own life in their own country.
This guy is saying that there's very few witnesses left of that genocide that happened in the Ukraine.
It's hard to tell about that.
Yeah.
So
hey, did you have relatives? Do you have relatives who died in that?
Yes, I have my girlfriend have a grandmother. Yes, that live in this time. She lived in the period of First World War, Second World War, and Holodomor too. So she has a bunch of crazy stories when the neighborhood eat their own kids.
Oh, geez.
So in that time, Ukrainian farmers' family have a lot of kids, yes, and you must protect him from other people who can come to you and want to steal your kids and eat it. So it was the scary period of time. So the people was, you can watch the photos, people was exhausted and looking like a zombie and just dying on the streets and no food. They just cooking some grace and the what they can find. So all this happened.
Unfathomable.
All this happened before because of Soviet government, yes.
Right.
And Stepan Bandera was the Ukrainian political, one of the ideologists and terrorists of Ukrainian nationalist movement of the 20th century. By the way, he has a statutory status of a fighter for the independence of Ukraine in 20th century. And he was one of the initiators of the act of restoration of the Ukrainian state in 1944 first. Yes. And that's why there is talk about Bandera like a Nazi, because a little period of time he worked with Hitler's fascists, yes, because of his own interest, yes. There was some interesting situations, but that end by the Bandera just go from fascists, yes. So Bandera was placed under house arrest on July 5, 1941, and of September 15, 1941, he was placed in the central Berlin prison. From the beginning of 1942 to August 1944, he was in concentration camp. And Soviet government, KGB, yes, go to assassinate Bandera in Munich. So it's the story. And after that, on this week, Ramzan says that he wants to find Bandera. So our guys joking.
Wait a second. Sorry.
Yes,
so
yes.
This guy, Bandera, was in a concentration camp.
Yes, by 2 years.
And this guy Kamzan is saying that he wants to find this guy. When he says he wants to find this guy, he wants to find his dead body or his living body?
The joke is in that he thinks that Bandera is live and walk in the streets of Ukraine and try to create a Nazi party.
Yes, and
yes.
and you're saying, and does that guy really believe that Bandera is still alive?
You know, in Russian propaganda TV, the word Bandera is mostly pronunciation than in Ukrainian ever. So every time they enter the TV, yes, they start talking about the Bandera, the Nazism, and the other things in Ukraine. It's like the propaganda works. That's why I think Ramzan is forget about some facts from the life of Bandera.
And what you're saying is if he was a Nazi, what was he doing as a prisoner in the concentration camp?
I don't know.
Right? It doesn't make any sense. if Pandera was a Nazi, why was he in a concentration camp? He should have been working at a concentration camp, not a
prisoner.
Not a prisoner. Thank you, Caleb. Correct?
He was in the prison firstly, yes, and then they come him to the concentration camp.
Yeah.
After that, so firstly he was in prison.
Bizarre.
But he was never
the story
working
just
at
gets more and more bizarre.
So if we see this guy, yes, and another maybe some guys in Ukrainian history who was nationalist, yes, can we talking about the Nazism in Ukraine? You say to me, and this is funny, and not only you say to me, that Zelensky is Jewish, yes, and we have a big nation populace in our country. So not only Ukrainian, but a bunch of different nationalities. Yeah, we have nations, yes. So we have not too many Russians in our country, but we have Russians, we have Polish guy, we have many guys from India, from other countries. So this is multinational country, and
right.
It's not the statement about the Nazis.
Right.
But the propaganda is a great thing. Yes.
It's crazy.
Have you seen the?
It makes it so hard to know what's going on. Say that again.
Have you seen the incident on Russia TV with the so-called protest? No.
No, maybe not. What should we look up?
You can Google. There is a 15 seconds when the editor of the main channel of Russia came out during the news release. Yes, with the poster "No to War," and this is very interesting because there was a statement that this is the provocation, because in the total censorship of Russia, there is no live broadcast on the TV shows, yes, on the news. So it's not the situation when girl just coming with the poster. And what did she do? She shifted accents, and after that, she showing sincere repentance. She will, in fact, now be a martyr. Yes, and maybe you heard about Macron offers here political asylum. Yes, and I heard about somebody nominate her for the Nobel Peace Prize.
Wait a sec. What would be, so you're saying that this is likely staged as more Russian propaganda?
Not only I say about it. Yes,
right.
It's a statement. We don't know. Yes,
but how would that work?
No?
Why would they do that? I'm not sure the psychological, what's the implication of that? So from the U.S., what we see when we watch this, right, and everyone else, they're like, oh my God, look, this is live Russian TV, and some lady came on and said no war. And what you're saying is
poor lady, yes. They want to protest, but they can't. And 2 days all media just talking about that. And this time it's not changed. Ukrainian people dying, yes, bombs and all the stuff. But we only see like this girl is very good because she is not one to war.
So, but I don't understand how that works. Why would Russia do that? That just makes them look bad, doesn't it?
It looks good, yes, but we can see this girl as a martyr now, yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and she shifted accents from the terrible war for the poor Russian people who live in the country with bad government. Yes. So for the first channel of Russia, this channel that in the broadcast was the situation. For the government of this channel is the opportunity to say that we don't want beef with this government. Yes, we just a kind of democratism, yes, and want to show that something good happened on our channel.
Oh,
Understand?
so you think that station staged that, but not with the government's permission?
Yes, mostly.
Okay.
I think so, but it's not my opinion. I'm just read too much of news. Yes.
Right. We're just talking about it. But either way, you don't think it's authentic. You don't think that was live and someone went on there and...
My first reaction was, oh, this is great. I just dropped this video for all my friends, yes, and we discussed this. But I saw the reaction on this. My reaction of my friends and all this stuff. And when we start to read about it and we find all this information and we look that it's work on us and work on this of all world. So really we live in the world when you just come with the poster and you know what interesting? So she was in police and all that she got some kind of stuff. Yes, $250 for this.
Yeah,
yes,
you would think she would be killed, right? You would think she would be.
Yes, you can watch on the streets of Russia when people go on the protest with only paper, without nothing. Yes, and the guys is stopped there and come to police after that. So it looks not very real.
Oh man! Hey, let me ask you some really practical questions. Are you still able to get food?
Of course,
Yevhenni.
Of course. I tell you before that in Odessa, it's everything fine with food, and all the groceries is full with the food and all kind of stuff. So the little problems that we have, it was in the first day in war when all the people have panic and just smashed all the things from the groceries. Yes, but it depends by region. So I tell you about my mom's on the north of Ukraine, is Chernihiv region. So there was a big problem. So now it's not a problem to have food in these days, but for meat, for example, you must stay in the term, big amount of people who want to get it, yes. So my mom, to buy some meat, staying by 2.5 hours, yes.
Wow.
So it depends of the region. In big cities now it's not a big problem, but in some regions, as I say, you can find this problem.
How about mail? Do you guys get mail? Can I send you? Could I send you like these Listerine strips? Can I mail this to you? Like, what can I send you something?
Yeah, there was a situation when I was to buy something. I tell you about it. A couple of weeks ago, I decided that I need
some condoms. To get condoms.
No, don't have a problem with condoms, but I think on the future when something goes bad, and if I don't have electricity, but I have all kind of stuff on electricity, yes. So I buy dry fuel, and the thing that I can use for this fuel to cook some eat, yes.
Oh yes,
okay. And I want to express post, yes. And I waiting 2 weeks for express post of this thing. So it's possible, but you don't know how long can you wait for this. And if you want,
can you send me? Can you in WhatsApp? Can you send me your address? I want to try to mail you something.
Okay, I send you. No problem.
That will be weird. That'll be weird, right? If I send you something and you
but you must be ready to. By the way, I wait for my CrossFit certificate, level 1 certificate, for 4 months, I think. Yes, they sent me one, and it not found. Yes, and they sent me another one, and only after that I get it. So.
When was that? What year was that? When was that?
It was in 2019.
Oh, okay.
And that was great.
So you got one with Greg Glassman's signature.
Yeah, I think yes.
Lucky man.
Of course. So it was a situation when I got my CrossFit Master certificate, yes, and there was it's already the Rosa's era, yes, and I got the certificate with Glassman, yes, and I write to CrossFit HQ to change the certificate because I think it's not valid with the Glassman's right.
Wait, what did you say? You asked for it without Greg's name?
I have the certificate with Greg's name, but on that time, yes, it's not level 1 certificate. It's a master certificate.
You took the master's course too?
I took many courses of CrossFit. I like an interesting person in this.
Hey, where did you take the master's course at? I know we're way off topic. Where did you take that?
Online.
Oh,
it's
you know who made
available.
That? Matt Swift made that. Do you know who that is?
No.
The Australian trainer? I wonder if he's still with CrossFit.
So the situation, I got my certificate. It was in period of time when all the shit was Glassman happening, when it started to looks bad. Yes, and I think is it normal that I got the certificate with Glassman, but without Eric? And I write about it to CrossFit HQ, and they send me a new certificate.
With whose name on it?
With Eric Rosa.
Oh, I'm sorry. And now he's gone. Now he's got fired.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. You know, I was actually thinking the other day that to expect anything from CrossFit HQ, like as Ukrainian affiliates, I mean, they're basically, it's like asking someone to help you swim who's drowning themselves. Unfortunately, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
But now I see only disappointment from the CrossFit HQ.
Yeah. Maybe I should make a Floyd 19 shirt, a Floyd 19 Sevan podcast shirt.
There was a comments after all this stuff starts when we write to HQ, when we post a lot of stories, a lot of posts about this, and somebody write in the comments, so this is the Floyd 22 with the CrossFit, yes.
Hey, can you imagine Russian soldiers shooting, and Ukrainian soldiers shooting at each other, and then the Ukrainian soldier hits the Russian soldier, and the Ukrainian yells, "I got him!" And the Russian soldier, he's dead, but he opens his eyes and he says, "Not him, her." You know, he used the right pronoun. Sorry, it's an American joke.
But I understand.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts. My country's batshit crazy. Not a lot, a small amount, but they're making a lot of noise. Yevhenni, so you get mail every day?
Yes, of course.
You do. Interesting. It would be interesting to give your address out on the air and see what happens, see what people send you.
Yes, it's interesting. Some bombs, maybe. Yes.
No. Okay, well, I won't release it, but maybe give me an address somewhere. That would be interesting to see how that works. Okay, so the mail system works. Grocery stores work. What currency are they using in your country right now? Are they still using? What is the currency in Ukraine? What do you guys call it?
It's grivna.
Grivna.
It's everything works that you say, but only in that cities that not occupation. Yes.
Right.
So we have a lot of cities that Russia already attacked, and they have their soldiers there. So this is a problem. And in that cities, there is a big problem with the food. With some good stuff like electricity, yes, and that guys just can get out of that cities. When I talked in last week about the Mariupol and Chernihiv, so now Mariupol is like the city of ghosts. There is 95% of building is destructed, yes, and many people dying, and near the 5,000 of people go from the Mariupol, yes, and now it's just a disaster on that territories.
95% of the buildings in that town are destroyed.
85.
85. Holy shit!
You can watch on YouTube. I saw some video, and this is very horrible, like from the Silent Hill, the movie. Yeah,
how many people lived in that town?
We can Google this.
So someone the other day was telling me, was comparing Ukraine to Mexico. They were saying it's the second poorest country in Europe. How is Ukraine? I just assumed Ukraine was like just a regular country. Is it a fucked up place? I mean, all the pictures, look at that. That looks just like the United States to me. That looks like San Francisco. But the way it's being described to me by some people is that it's like Mexico, and Mexico is not like the United States.
I can tell that Ukraine is not like the United States, but we have a lot of big cities. So if you see how Odessa looks, it's a good, it's a nowadays modern city, yes, with a great building, with a great infrastructure, and we have all this good system from the first countries in the world. So like banking system, so the economical process, all this stuff is going well. So the logistic in Ukraine was great before last month, yes. And
the whole country is cold in the winter, right? You can't have the homeless problem like Mexico, where in Mexico you can sleep outside all year round. You can't do that in Ukraine, right? There's no spot. No. You would die, right?
Mostly yes. Yeah.
Okay.
But we have no problem with warm rooms in the winter, and everything was fine.
You know, it's this is off subject a little bit, but you might find it interesting. I lived in a town called Berkeley, California, and there was a time when I was living there that the town to the left of me, Oakland, California, and the town to the right of me, Richmond, California, were like two of the murder capitals of the United States. There was so much killing going on there, violent killing, right, in the ghetto.
Mm-hmm.
But I never knew anybody that died because I don't hang out with those people. Just like I don't know anyone who died from, I don't know a single person who's died from coronavirus because I hang out with people who exercise and eat well, and I don't know anyone who participates in the lifestyle that would make you susceptible to death. But recently, yesterday, someone called me and told me that someone I know died of fentanyl overdose. You know what that is? Fentanyl overdose?
Mm-hmm.
And that's fascinating because supposedly we're having massive fentanyl overdoses in the United States, and that's coming from China, and that's the drug coming from China. And it's their way of, I don't know if it's true, but they're claiming that it's their way of declaring war on the United States by bringing fentanyl here and killing people, and basically destroying our civilization through drug addiction. But I found it fascinating because that means the fentanyl problem must be pretty bad for someone in my circle to die from it. So for whatever that's worth, nearly 841,000 people have died since 1999 from a drug overdose. Is that in the United States?
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's crazy, dude.
I know in West Virginia they have literal billboards that say, "Help your neighbor carry Narcan." Like Narcan's the antidote, if you will. So you can get Narcan over the counter in West Virginia, well, in certain states, because it's the opioid crisis is such a problem. It runs rampant.
That's like when I was in Africa, there were, even in these villages where there's like nothing, everyone knows which mud hut has the anti-venom. So if you get bit by a cobra or a black mamba, like everyone knows. And you're saying in the United States, they have that now for fentanyl overdose in Virginia. Everyone, that house has it. Oh God, that's crazy.
Yeah. My wife gets
one. So sorry, Yevhenni. Sorry to derail.
My wife sees it over probably at least once a day, if not once a week.
Overdose? Is that in the military hospital?
No, just like in the city.
Wow. Sorry, Yevgeny. Go ahead. Were you going to say something?
I can tell you one story from my life from the beginning of the war.
Mhm.
So all this time we're talking about a lot of different things, but when the war started, on the 4 days, I lost my closest friend, and it was a situation when he come from my own city, from when I was born. Yes, he come to the Kiev to meet his girlfriend and go away from Kiev to the another part of Ukraine. And when he ride on his car, he meet some troops, and they shot from the tank. And so, firstly, we don't know. First day, we don't know where he came. Yes, and then we start to searching for him. We start to posting some stories. Yes, with his data, and 3 hours, and somebody sent the video with him to his sister. So we all finding about him, and he was killed from tank. Yes, and this is some tragedy of my war. So I live with this now, and I know war not only from news, yes, and hopefully I don't have a bomb in Odessa now, yes, but my family and his family and all my friends know about this now, and we don't have. This is the guy that I go to school with him, and then we go together to the college, and after that in the university, yes, and he was in the France. He was in the France Legion. You know this?
He
French
was?
Legion.
He was there. Yes, he was there by 3 years, I think. Yes.
He was
But
in the French Foreign Legion?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And he come back because he has a problem. He had a problem with his knee, and that was a month before war start. Yes, and now he is gone. So this is the reality of the war.
Your best friend growing up was meeting his girlfriend in Kiev to head away from the violence, and on that journey he was killed by a Russian tank or friendly fire Ukrainian tank?
No, that was a Russian tank.
Wow.
That was a column of.
Why would they do that? Why would they do that? Is that what they're doing? They're just killing civilians, or they saw him as a threat? Do you have any more information? Do you know for sure? Has anyone recovered his body?
His body laying there for 7 days, and there was not only his body. For the last information from that place, we know that 13 bodies laying there, and after Russian troops is gone, yes, and somebody can drive on the car and watch what happened there. There is no bodies, and they know about people who live in that village, yes, that they buried him in their garden, so like that.
So him and like the 13 other
Holy
people that they
shit.
found, they all buried him in their garden.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Wow.
Have you talked to his parents?
Only with the sister.
And that was in the first 4 days.
Yeah, it was in the last day of February.
Wow.
So like this. And now
someone's saying, ask Yevhenni if he knows what the DIIA app for in Ukraine. What's in the DIIA? What is that?
When we talk about our how we live in Ukraine, so we have DIA. DIA is the app that you can see your documents there. Yes, your driving license, your COVID certificate, You
Oh
can
shit! Oh
you
shit!
can write there to.
Oh shit! Who owns that? Who owns that?
This is the digitalization program in our country. Yes, to have the country in your pocket, in your phone. Yeah, this is like a program from our government. So
Yeah, this is
now
the shit we're terrified of in the United States. Holy shit! Wow.
So you can do many things. So some bureaucratical things, and it's great. It's really useful.
It is useful. Is your money on there?
No, not money, but you don't need to grab your documents with you. So you just show it on your phone.
Hey, hey, Caleb, when you go ahead, Yevgeny. Sorry.
You can draw up the any documents, some permits, yes, some what you want for the bureaucratic procedures, yes, with this shit.
Hey, do people use cryptocurrency in Ukraine? Do you ever see it?
On this week we have the law about officially crypto work in Ukraine now. So in the this period, our government tried to do everything to move our country as far as they can. Maybe you heard about we now try to go in European Union, yes, and there is a good chance that we already going. So we start our journey from early 2000, and now we have this opportunity. And NATO say that they don't want to work with us, yes, but this is not a problem, I think, now, because we work, our military work very good, and maybe some time NATO wants to go to us, not we to NATO, but NATO to us. It's like a joke.
Let me ask you a crazy question. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
There's all of this money pouring into Ukraine now, right? Well, at least that's what they tell us. They're saying that the United States government has given in the last year $1.2 billion to Ukraine.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Do you think that there's any chance that the whole war could be a cover-up to move money? The entire war is a cover-up to move money? Does that sound like just completely insane to you, or?
You know, no. Every war is the opportunity for some people to get rich, and we know about it. Maybe you know about the trucks that go into Russia, the truck with some food, I don't know, some of this stuff, and some country is sending to Russia the helping now. So war is for somebody like Ukraine. Yes, this is horrible, and we like the victim. Yes, here, but for many other countries, it's like the United States works all this history. Yes, they helping other countries to make wars and feel great. And what can you do with this? Are you asking me about our government? If they bring money and for their own, yes?
Let me put it to you this way. So I looked up, based on company financial statements, the alliance estimate that Pfizer, biotech, Moderna made pre-tax profits. This isn't revenue. Pre-tax profits of $34 billion this year. Now, the CEO of Pfizer just came out a couple weeks ago and said that the first two shots hardly do anything, if anything at all. So they made $34 billion profit on something that now they admit doesn't work. They admit, anyone who doesn't believe me, you can just go to my Instagram account. I have it on there. And you can see the director of the CDC also say that the efficacy is 95% and that they got that information from CNN. Our Center for Disease Control got that information from our propaganda unit, and that they said that they hoped that CNN was right, and you can see that on my Instagram too. I mean, unless these are just amazing digital forfeits. So if they're willing to try to trick the whole country to take a vaccine in order to make $34 billion, I just wonder. We're having something else weird happen here. It's weird how much the Ukraine, Biden, Trump, and Biden's son have been involved with the Ukraine over the last 3 years, right? I mean, it is a weird thing. And now, finally, our worst propaganda unit, the New York Times in this country, the one that just does all the damage, especially to poor people, to poor minorities, they are now saying that this laptop that Hunter Biden has is actually his laptop. And in that laptop, there's all sorts of bad stuff, right? It's just weird. Something's going on that we don't know, or people are being very opportunistic at the same time. I don't know what it is, but something weird is going on at the cost of the people in your country. Something is not
clean.
Yeah, something is not clean. Something's and I let me ask you this. This is changing the subject quite a bit, but does Putin plan on keeping the Ukraine?
I'm listening today one wise man, yes, and he says that his main priority, yes, is to grab our land. Yes, Ukrainians, he don't need Ukrainian. Yes, he wants just land. So with the hate for our nation, and you see what's happening now. He killing civilians by thousands, yes, by all the cities, and nobody can do something. And this is free hands for Putin for do this. And I think, yes, he wants to destroy Ukraine. And I don't know what the purpose of all this shit. But
did you know Hitler wanted Ukraine also? Do you know about that?
Yeah, of course.
And do you know why he wanted Ukraine?
Because we not clean nation like this.
Well, he was hoping to make Ukraine the farmland for Germany. Mm-hmm. He wanted to grow organic foods, and he wanted to kill all the people in Ukraine and take all their land and make it one. He was paranoid because of cancer. He had crazy cancer paranoia, from what I've read, and that he wanted Ukraine to grow organic food so that the people, because that's when cancer was huge. They were discovering a lot of things about cancer in the 30s, and a lot of people were getting cancer, and so he wanted a giant organic food farm for the people of Germany so they could eat healthy. It's a trip. Mm-hmm. It's a trip.
So it's not very bad idea. We have a lot of good ground, yes, in Ukraine. So he knows.
You guys are a wheat country, right? Wheat is your primary crop.
Wheat.
Wheat. Is it wheat?
No, not wheat.
Oh,
wheat. Yes, no, wheat. Yes, yeah. I think about
no,
wheat.
not weed, not weed. That's California. Don't fuck with us. We got the best. Yevhenni, look.
Shit is great.
I don't smoke it. It's just a prop. Do you know what a prop is?
Yeah. I need it to send me. You want to send me something?
I would send you this. I will send you this. Hey, is it legal in your country?
No, of course not. We're working by this, but now it's not legal.
Oh.
Yes.
Do you like doing these calls? Is this
what?
Are you okay doing these calls? Does this put you in any threat doing these calls with me on a weekly basis? Any danger, any heartache, any trouble?
It's strange, but every time we're talking with you, it's no air alarm. So I told you hour before this, we have some salute with our air system works, yes?
Yeah.
But maybe I'm in headphone and I can hear something on this.
I'll tell you if I hear it.
Yeah. So it's worked good because when I have my training classes, yes, usually I go to the basement and we have internet now. So can have the training there, because it was several of times when I go with the phone, yes, and with the man from Poland, I go underground and have my training there.
What man from Poland?
I have a couple of clients from.
Oh,
Yes, I have clients from Germany, from Poland. Early, I trained with a guy from London, so there is a good geography. Yeah, you can see this on the photo. This is first on the picture is a guy from Austria, by the way. Yeah.
look at that. And look what he's wearing. That's how I think Austrians dress too, like in some Dayglow 1980s.
No, he is Ukrainian student who who live in Austria now. So it's mostly Ukrainian people.
The girl in the lower right hand corner looked hot. I'd like to keep doing this. Hey, is it summer there yet? Is it winter? Is it spring there?
We have spring already, but it's not very warm now. It's like a 5 degree.
Okay.
Says not Fahrenheit. Yes, we use the Celsius system.
Okay.
Hey, and
what size shirt are you? Are you a large?
What?
What size shirt are you?
I'm the M.
Medium. Oh.
You want to send me a shirt?
Yeah, I'm gonna send you a shirt.
Oh, that's great. Great.
I'm gonna send you a shirt. A medium. I think I have an extra medium too.
I like this stuff. I watched the video when the 22.3 was announced, and you sitting in the Rich Froning shorts and you joking about it. I was very loud about the 10 Rich Froning shirts from Reebok.
I have 10 from each year. I wear them every day. That's after I work out and I shower and I'm like resting for the night. I put on my Froning shirt. That's no joke. Every night for probably the last.
Great for recovery. Yes.
7 years. Yeah.
By the way, my friends ask me, "Are you training? Have you do something?" Yes. What do you, this is a great biceps, yeah.
Thanks. Just a strict muscle ups and deadlifts.
You're doing CrossFit, yes?
Don't make me show you.
He just does strict muscle ups and deadlifts. Strict muscle ups and deadlifts.
You know what I do? I'm old. I'm 50. I just turned 50, Yevhenni. So I do a lot of time on the assault bike. I've started doing more heavy lifting again. Like I probably didn't do bench press for many years. I started doing bench press again. I do a lot of weighted pull-ups. I do a lot of front squatting, but I usually use like a D-ball. I don't do heavy. I just use like a 40 or 60 pound D-ball. Oh yeah, I did 50 burpees 2 days ago in 1 minute and 57 seconds. 50 burpees.
Minutes at 57 seconds. Oh, it's great result.
Yeah. And you see I do a lot of negative bar muscle ups. So you see the kids gymnastics set back there. I jump to the top and I do slow negative to where I come underneath. I do a lot of L sits.
Great.
And then you see down here, I have a mace now. I had the Flowing Dutchman as a guest. You see in the corner, there's a mace. You see that? So I've been starting to use the mace to help on coordination. So
I hope my father watched this video now. Hi, father. And he just turned 54 2 days ago. Yes, and he also trained. Yes, I tried to move him to the CrossFit, but he is old kind stuff. Yes, he like just push-ups, have some air squats, and not move weight now. But he was a former weightlifter earlier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I want him to start do more stuff with the work on the joints. Yes, work with the stretching. Yes, that kind of stuff that he need now.
Yeah, I try to do a lot of. I stretch every day. Also, I mean, you know what it's good is when you have things you can do. People are going to rip me up for this, but things you can do like at the same time. So like anytime you're not doing stretching can be done whenever. If you're on Instagram and you're sitting in a chair, like what the fuck is wrong with you? Sit on the floor and start stretching while you're on Instagram. You know what I mean?
And,
Like
and do like this.
yes, all that stuff, right? Yeah. And it's the same with if I'm gonna when I do research, let's say I was gonna watch a movie on Ukraine or I was gonna watch some videos, I would even if it was 10 o'clock at night, I wouldn't sit down and watch it in my living room. I would go to my garage, turn on the TV, and get on the assault bike. Because I need to be doing multiple things. Not always. When I watch my kids, when I play tennis with my kids, when I at the beach with my kids, I just focus on that. But there's other times when things can be done in tandem to sort of best utilize your time. And being on my phone, I feel like I should always be doing something else than just being on my phone. I mean, the phone's just it's like candy.
This is a great statement because now we have a trouble with scrolling. Yes.
Yeah.
Because you every time this is.
I try never ever to scroll. I'm always looking for guests for the podcast.
We all tired from this shit. Yes, but all guys nervous. Yes, we're sitting and waiting for something bad. Yes, and do nothing. And this is a problem. And when I start to talking about my online classes now. So I try to move people and say that, guys, if you be active, this world that you say now, so you don't need to just sit on the chair and scrolling. You can do some stretching, you can do some walk if you don't have a bombs on your window, yes, and other stuff. So I try to have the goal for me now to move more people who have a bad situation now with this, who can do this. Yes, I don't talk about people who sitting and can find something to eat, but for those who just wait for the bumps, yes, we must do something, guys, and stand up and do some joint warm up.
Yeah, practice your handstands. Start getting the splits. Yeah, I agree. Yevhenni, I would like to keep doing this with you on Sundays if you're game.
Yeah, great.
Okay. And I know I moved the time on you. I moved the time on you, and I appreciate it.
No, it's not a problem.
Okay.
This is Sunday. Yes, I'm mostly free. By the way, today I got a keys from my gym. Yes, I meet the administrator and just bring the keys. And I was in the gym today, do some snatches and move some weight. It was great. But after 3 weeks on do some only body weight work, it was too hard and was terrible. But I'm happy. Of course, I'm happy. It's a lot of good stuff. So, is
the stress? Do you think the stress is going away? It's getting worse? Or you're getting used to it, the stress of being in a war zone?
Of course it's going away because it's the hour when I forget about the phone. I know my program. I want to do something good and perform with a good form. Yes, right. And you're doing good warm-ups. Yes, you're thinking about the lift. You're thinking about the grip, about all this kind of stuff. And of course, your head is just staying free and clean after that. So it's the first reason why you should train in bad situation. If something bad happening and you don't know what to do and you just sitting and crush yourself with these crazy thoughts, just try to do something active.
Words of wisdom. All right, brother. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just listening to you. Yeah.
Okay. So, same time next week.
Okay, great. Be waiting for this. And thank you, guys. It was hard, but a good conversation. I'm happy that I can talk about the nationalism, not Nazism. And I hope people who watch this can understand something. And if you have some questions, you can use Google and open sources. Yes, so you can ask me. I'm not a great expert, but I try to say something about that, and do not believe in propaganda. Try to look in information of different kind of sources, and only after that made your statement about this, not from the word of somebody who talk from whom's, yes, like this.
From who? From what? Hoops?
From other people who want to make bad things in the future. Yeah.